Hi, it's Mike back once again with tip number 63 from our top 100 tips, tools, and life lessons from the Insight One Awakening Heart Seminar. This will be the final tip in terms of the three selves, at least for now. And we're going to look at something that helps to align those three selves more effectively. And that's the word prayer. Now, I know in Insight we tend to kind of stay away from references to things that are considered spiritual or religious, in part because sometimes our different belief systems in that area can kind of block our process for getting more in touch with the essence of who we are. Prayer, though, in this case, we define as an intention for a greater good. So when we look at what helps to align our three selves, we use that definition, an intention for a greater good. And what I would invite you to do as I speak a little bit about how we align the three selves is you might ask yourself, what is your intention for a greater good? It could be a greater good for your family. It could be a greater good for your community. It could be a greater good for the entire world, depending on the reference point you want to hold. One of the powerful things you can do, though, is begin to ask yourself, what would be a greater good? Because when we look at a greater good, effectively what we're doing is we're asking for something that reaches beyond ourselves, that reaches for something that goes beyond our own needs, and naturally begins to connect us with others and bring in things like compassion and understanding and forgiveness. And so what that does is it provides a certain level of inspiration to us. It gives us a sense of purpose. And you know that our higher self really likes to generate that sense of purpose and meaning for us in our life. And so that inspiration and sense of purpose begins to work its way down into our conscious self. And what can happen is we begin to hold that frame of reference and ask ourselves that question, what is my intention for a greater good? It begins to invite forward our different belief systems and begin to filter in opportunities for contributing to a greater good, which then can lead us to some specific actions that can help us to begin to manifest those things for those people around us and for the world in general. So just consider, what is your intention for a greater good? You might want to ask yourself that question and notice what begins to show up, because almost always sitting with that question will also lead you more fully into your heart's purpose. Once again, thank you for listening. Feel free to check out what's happening at Insight Boston at insightboston.org. Certainly check out what's happening globally at insightseminars.org, and check out what's happening in your local Insight community. Have a great day.